How the internet works, you are receiving millions of invisible signals. Through the air, through walls, through thousands of kilometers of cable buried under oceans. You clicked a video and in less than 1 second, a machine on the other side of the planet responded to you. No wire connected your device to that machine. No one physically carried your request. It just happened. But how does the internet actually work? Not the simple answer. The real one. Most people use the internet every single day, but almost nobody can explain what it actually is. Here's the simplest way to think about it. Imagine every device in the world, every phone, every laptop, every server, as a house. Now imagine roads connecting all those houses together. Some roads are small, some are massive highways, but every house is connected to every other house. Somehow, the internet is that system of roads. It is not a cloud floating in the sky. It is not magic. It is not invisible. It is a physical network of cables, machines, and protocols that allows any device in the world to communicate with any other device. Right now, there are more than 5 billion people connected to this network, sending messages, watching videos, making calls, all at the same time, and somehow it works. But behind that seamless experience is an infrastructure so complex, so carefully engineered that most people never think about it. Let's go behind the scenes. When you send a message to a friend, what actually happens? You type the words, you hit send. In that exact moment, your device takes your message and does something remarkable. It breaks it into tiny pieces. These pieces are called packets. Think of it like this. Imagine you want to send a massive painting to someone across the country. You can't fit it in one envelope. So you cut it into hundreds of small pieces, pack each piece separately, and send them all. Your friend receives all the pieces, puts them back together, and sees the complete painting. That is exactly what your device does with data. Every message, every image, every video broken into packets. Each packet travels independently through the network. They might take completely different routes to reach the same destination. And when they arrive, they are reassembled instantly in the right order, at incredible speed. But where do these packets actually go? When you type a website address into your browser, you are making a request. Your device sends a packet across the network saying, "I want this page, please send it to me." But who receives that request? A server. A server is simply a powerful computer running somewhere in the world, whose only job is to store information and respond to requests. When you open Instagram, you are not accessing something stored on your phone. You are sending a request to Instagram servers. Those servers receive your request, find your data, and send it back to you. All of this happens in milliseconds. Now here's something that might surprise you. When you watch a YouTube video, that video is not stored in one place. YouTube servers are located in massive data centers around the world. Enormous buildings the size of football fields filled with thousands of computers running day and night. When you press play, the system automatically connects you to the nearest server to make sure your video loads as fast as possible. This is called a Content Delivery Network, or CDN, and it is one of the invisible reasons why streaming feels instant. Here is the part that almost nobody knows. The internet is not wireless. Yes, your phone connects to Wi-Fi. Yes, your laptop uses Bluetooth. But that wireless signal travels only a short distance before it hits a router, and that router is connected to a cable, and that cable connects to more cables, and those cables run under the ocean. Right now, there are more than 400 submarine cables running along the ocean floor, stretching across the Atlantic, the Pacific, the Indian Ocean. These cables carry more than 95% of all international internet traffic. Every email sent between continents, every international video call, every global financial transaction, all of it traveling through cables thinner than a garden hose lying on the bottom of the ocean in complete darkness. The total length of these cables? Over 1.3 million kilometers. Long enough to wrap around the Earth more than 30 times, and they are fragile. Earthquakes damage them. Ship anchors accidentally cut them. Even sharks have been caught biting them, attracted by the electromagnetic signals. When a major undersea cable breaks, entire regions can lose internet connectivity. It has happened before, it will happen again. The internet feels invisible, but it is very, very physical. To understand what the internet is today, you have to understand where it came from. Go back to 1969. The Cold War is at its peak. The United States military has a problem. Their communication systems are centralized. One attack on the right location and the entire network collapses. So a group of engineers had an idea. What if the network had no center? What if information could find its own path even if part of the network was destroyed? They built a small experimental network called ARPANET. On October the 29th, 1969, the first message was sent between two computers, one at UCLA, one at Stanford Research Institute. The message was supposed to be the word login. The system crashed after just 2 letters. The first message ever sent over what would become the internet was low. Not exactly a triumphant beginning, but the idea worked, and engineers kept building. Through the 1970s and 80s, the network grew. Universities connected, research institutions joined. A common language for computers to communicate was developed, called TCP/IP. Then in 1989, a British scientist named Tim Berners-Lee had an idea that would change everything. He proposed a system of linked documents that anyone could access through the network. He called it the World Wide Web. The web was not the internet. The internet was the infrastructure, the roads. The web was the first great city built on those roads. By the mid-1990s, ordinary people started getting online, dial-up modems, slow connections, simple websites. But the door was open, and what followed was the fastest technological transformation in human history. Let's make this concrete. You open YouTube, you search for a video, you press play. Here is what actually happens in the background. Step 1. Your device sends a request through your Wi-Fi router. The router forwards it through your internet service provider, the company you pay for internet access. Step 2. Your request travels through a series of routers, machines whose only job is to read packets and point them in the right direction. This process is called routing. Each router looks at the packet and says, "Okay, where does this need to go next?" and passes it forward. Step 3. Your request reaches YouTube's servers, likely in a data center not too far from you. The server identifies which video you want. It breaks the video into thousands of packets and begins sending them back to you. Step 4. The packets travel back through the network. Different packets may take completely different routes. Some might go through Chicago, some through London, some through a satellite. Step 5. Your device receives all the packets, reassembles them in the correct order, and your video plays, smooth and uninterrupted. All of that in less than 2 seconds. The internet feels safe, it feels clean, like something that just works. But beneath the surface, there is constant conflict. Every day, billions of cyber attacks are attempted worldwide. Hackers trying to intercept packets, criminals attempting to break into servers, governments monitoring traffic. The same openness that makes the internet powerful makes it vulnerable. And there is something else. The internet was not designed for the scale it operates at today. The original engineers who built ARPANET in 1969 were connecting 4 computers. Today, there are more than 15 billion connected devices. The system was not built for this. It was adapted, patched, extended, layer after layer of solutions built on top of older solutions. The internet is not elegant. It is a miracle of engineering held together by decades of clever fixes, and it is more fragile than most people realize. A handful of major undersea cable cuts in the wrong locations could disrupt internet access for hundreds of millions of people. A coordinated attack on the core routing infrastructure could bring entire regions offline. It has not happened. But the vulnerabilities exist, and the engineers who understand this are working every day to protect a system that the rest of the world simply takes for granted. So the next time you send a message, open a website, or press play on a video, remember what is actually happening. Your data is being broken into tiny pieces, traveling through cables buried under oceans, passing through machines on multiple continents, being reassembled perfectly on the other side in less time than it takes to blink. The internet is not magic. It is not a cloud. It is millions of kilometers of physical cable, thousands of data centers running day and night, hundreds of thousands of engineers maintaining systems the world depends on. And it all started with 2 letters, low, from a system that immediately crashed to a network that now connects more than half of all humanity. That is one of the greatest engineering achievements in human history, and it is running right now underneath everything you do.